Okay, it's time for a bonus great search where I go and find stuff on Digi-Key.com, and I'm always looking for parts for my designs. Today, what I'm looking for is some extra tall tactile switches. We've done tactile switches, but not tall ones. Let's go to the overhead and I'll show you what I mean. So for the design of this board, I've got some buttons that you can press to reset or to like activate stuff or to select programs. These little tactile switches. But what I did is I picked your standard 6 by 6 millimeter with whatever like 2 millimeter long little actuators here, and that's all fine and good and worked great for testing. But for the final design, what I'm going to have are standoffs and a little cover that that covers everything except for like the switch and the header here, and it sits on top. And so I want the buttons to stick up above, and so I need the buttons to be taller than, well, at least this connector, because that's going to be like the cutoff. So this connector is 8.7 millimeters tall, this connector here. And I need, so you see how like this on-off switch is a little bit higher than that, which is good. Because like I said, the plate that's it's gonna be sitting above the USB jacks, but it'll have a cutout for the on-off switch and for the header connector. And right now, these buttons are nowhere near tall enough. They need to be like up to here. I need you up here, guys, not down here. So let's find buttons that have at least 8.7, 8.8 plus millimeters, but I don't want it like more than 11 millimeters tall. I think that would be like way too tall. And will fit in this footprint, which is a 6 by 6 millimeter tactile switch. Let's go to Digi-Key. And then let's search for tactile, because we've got all sorts of tactile switches you see, and there even is one that's tall. So except this one is through hole style, which we don't want. We need SMT like this, right? Like this, but a little taller. So a lot of options. We have to start paring them down. So let's look at stuff that's normally stocking and is active. Basically stuff that you can like actually buy. Okay, next up, we want surface mount. And I don't want right angle. Right angle would be pointing out to the side. I want it to point up. So I want surface mount, and then I want, I don't know what top or side actuated is, but I basically want top actuated. And then let's see what that gave me. Yes, these all look pretty good, right? Some of these, they're all SMT, and some, like you said, are tall. Some are smaller than the others. I do need it to fit within, well, let's do the height first, right? Because, I can always change the footprint, but the height is pretty fixed. So the actuator height off the PCB, if you remember, I wanted at least 8.5. I was going to be more, but I don't think more than 11. So let's do 8.5 to 11. Let's see what we get. Okay. Some of these, I don't know, these photos might not be realistic. Some of these are really big. Some, like this one, looks about right, but this one is chunky. This one is, the footprint is 12 by 12, and we want the footprint to be like 6-ish by 6-ish. So let's filter that out. Okay, and then let's look. Okay, some good options. So looks like 9.5, 8.5. Let's do, looks like there's a lot of options, so I'm not going to be too picky. I think 9.5 is a good amount because that gives me a little bit of height, but not a crazy amount. So let's do 9.5. Okay. Okay, a lot of options. So one nice thing is actually a lot of colors. If I wanted to have a colorful actuator, there's like blue and there's red and then there's brown, and like this nice green color. Personally, I don't like white, beige. I don't know. I didn't know there were so many colors. I don't actually care too much about that, but I do need to get a lot of these. So I'm gonna see what the price is at 1,000 pieces, because that's kind of the most important thing, because it's, yeah, this is for fun. So I can't have, with 4 buttons, if they're $1 a piece, that really makes a big change in the bill of materials cost. So this is Marketplace. I'm going to say no Marketplace products for now, Just filter those out because I'm going to buy direct from Digi-Key. This green one, like I said, is quite cute, but if I want to go for pricing, these three are the option. And so you'll see they all have the same base number, TS04, and then 66, which probably means like 6x6, 95, which is 9.5 millimeters tall, BK, probably black, and then 100, 260, 160. So these are the actuator, like how hard it is to press down the button. To be honest, for my final design, I'll try like 100, 260 and 160. But for now, I think it's totally fine to start with just 100. I'm not expecting people to press these often, but they will be used for like, selecting different modes, going to reset mode, like you hold the UF2 boot button while you reset. So I think I'm going to go with these because they're affordable. They have the height and the right footprint. So the TS04 series in black, 9.5 millimeters tall, 100 gram force. SPST tactile switch from Same Sky is my pick for the Great Search. Thanks, Digi-Key.
Where in the world